What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Royal Podcast. We are back for another episode. My boy Bret here.
Hey.
So glad to be back with you guys. Thanks for tuning in and taking a chance to giving us some of your time to watch our episodes or listen to our episodes, depending on what platform you're using. Yep. So today, we kind of, I guess it's both on our hearts to talk about like personal development. So we're just gonna have a chill conversation about personal development, share our opinions on it, what we think it is, what we think it means, etc. So go ahead, bro. Let me hear it. We talked about this a little bit. We always talk about this stuff. So.
Okay. Where do you want me to begin?
Let's just talk about just personal development. So what is that? What in your life?
What does that mean to me?
Yeah.
It's really like working on yourself, developing a sense of routine, discipline, developing disciplines throughout your day to build your character.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it is in the name, personal development.
Yeah.
But I guess some people can take it like skill development, I guess. So it's personal for them, like developing their skill set. I guess I could kind of agree with that as well. First, depending on who you are, if you're a mother, personal development could be trying to be the best mother you are, take care of your children. So it's a broad topic, and we have a few things to kind of cover that's very general that we believe that everyone can relate to, that can cover the spectrum of personal development and not like, be out of field for someone. And I have 5 pointers. He's gonna throw in, his pictures and stuff with it too. But I feel like the first place that personal development really starts is like your spirituality and your mindset. So whatever spirituality means for you, right? Like, whatever you believe in.
Religions, things like that.
Yeah. You just
personal beliefs.
Whatever it is, just make sure that's level and it's aiding you, because personal development is like another form of self-love. You could just translate it that way. Personal development equals self-love. And I briefly on my IGTV TV in my personal account, I posted a video about that on self-love.
You're big on that, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so important. Like not enough people. You're so focused on the external, expecting that love is going to be received rather than love coming outward.
Yeah.
Or from inward to the outer world, as opposed to like receiving it from somebody else. Because you got to teach yourself that it's a skill. It's definitely nothing that just comes naturally, I guess. Like, what are some things that you would say are self-love, like self-love based? Like, how do you love on yourself?
Well, I guess it starts with really just taking care of your needs and
that's
first.
Good.
Like,
it's really good.
Different. I guess like getting up early. For me, like getting up early, brushing my teeth, taking my shower, cleaning my ears out. That's super important.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it is, but it is.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 ears so that we listen more.
Right.
One mouth so that we can speak. So, but yeah, self-love, really just manifesting that. That way I can, love my fiance and her family as well as my family and my friends and stuff like that. Like, it's all really, like I said, it was like, I feel like it's more character building than anything. Because once you build those habits and those rituals, then everything else comes forward. I think you told me you were like, the situation with your room at one time with.
What was it?
Like, if you love yourself, would I do this? I honestly kind of replay that in my own head. I'm like, all right, if I love myself, I'm gonna end up doing it. I need to do this.
Right.
So.
Yes. I love the fact that you mentioned. You made it real simple. I guess people like complicate these things where they just like, oh, self-love. Well, what is, it must be real, it's a complex topic. No, it's just really handle your needs.
Yeah.
Just do what you need to do. And I think what you're talking about for the room is like, if you love yourself, and you're just trying to figure out how to get your life together, so you love yourself the best, is just kind of sit in your room and analyze, what do I have control over and what can I work on right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Would you put I would say put your needs over your wants, right? First.
Oh, without a doubt. And it's best, I mean, yes, handle your needs, but never neglect your wants. Your wants is what's going to keep you like sane, I guess. But it's the best way to kind of do this. Like, these are why habits exist. On the list, we put good habits as being part of self-love. So I'm gonna go ahead and like tease into that real quick. Habits are meant to systemize actions. So they're meant to like automate certain actions, right? If you make all your needs a habit, you'll be set. And then all you have to do is focus on your wants, because your needs are already taken care of.
Yeah.
And so you have the foundation for self-love already.
And a lot of people, they trip on putting their wants first.
Oh,
yeah. Like, oh, I want that fancy car, but I don't need that fancy car.
Yeah.
You know? And then they put themselves in debt, and like, it's a huge snowball effect.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I even fall. I mean, it's not like I don't fall victim for these kind of things.
We all do. I mean, I feel like we all do to an extent. Like, you know.
Oh, that brownie looks so good, bro, but I don't need it. You know, I should really just go to the gym and be on a treadmill for 20 minutes. Tim Goad, he's a pastor of G5 Church, and he was giving a little talk in a meeting I was at, and he said that this is how you know you're losing in life, if you put play before work. And it's like, whoa, like that's black and white. There's play and work, and so it's like productivity or entertainment. You know, it's what look at your actions, analyze your day. That's why it's so good to journal.
Yeah.
Because like you could look back and what have I been doing?
I actually, I mean, I kind of had like a little note in my phone, because I didn't actually buy a journal, but I went back and I was like, what was I thinking that day, that specific day? Like, I actually broke it down from when I woke up, how I felt, and kind of why. And then I look at it today and I'm like, what was I on? Like, what, you know?
What was I on?
Sounds weird, like, but
yeah, that's hilarious.
What was I on about? Like, that doesn't, like, it's cool to see yourself grow, and then you read, like, it's like a small chapter in your life.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's cool to document it. That way you can look back and see, and then, like, for me, like, I kind of wanted an actual journal. That way I could write, like, daily what I did or weekly what I did.
Yeah.
And then pass it down to my kid or something. Like, that way they can see.
Jim Rohn talks about that.
How was my dad? How was Bret? Like, I want to know how he was when I, you know, was that age. Or I messed it up, I think, a little bit.
No,
you're making sense.
You're making sense.
Okay. So when he or she's 20, you know, and they have the same questions that can be answered already in that book.
Yeah.
And I, you know, that makes absolute sense to me to go do that. Like, you don't have to do that personally, but for me, I feel like that would be really epic.
You're like publishing your own biography. It's an autobiography. But every day though, you don't have to go back and remember what you did in your life. You're just writing it every day. Yeah, Jim Rohn talks about that. He says, and it's actually one of the treasures in life I want too. He says that one of the greatest treasures in life, let's just imagine if you accumulate a library of all the books that you've read to make you successful, and all the journals and the notes that you've taken, put it in your library, your private library, and leave it for your kids and their kids and their kids. Like, you're not just, I mean, it's one thing to be rich, but this is a whole nother form of wealth. This is an accumulation of knowledge. And so that's why I'm like, I gotta read books, I gotta buy books, I gotta journal, starting now. Like, you don't have to be nobody great, by the way, to start this stuff. This is how you become great.
Yeah.
This is how, at least until you become a way they become somebody that can manage your own life. Like, focus on the small things. He says also, don't expect to manage the big things if you can't manage the small things. That's why it's so important to have this self-love factor of taking care of yourself. What are your needs? Assess them. Like you said, brushing your teeth, combing your hair, cleaning your ears. Like, man, when I was a kid, I didn't know cleaning your ears was a thing. My dad was like, Darian, how many times a week do you clean your ear? I'm like, what? How do you even do that? I was like, what? How do you even do that? And I was like probably 12, 13, 14. I probably did this up until I was 16, man. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And, at that point, like, you think brush your teeth before as you wake up in the morning is good enough and you just go to bed. No, you gotta brush your teeth twice a day, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's self-love. Another aspect of it, too, before we get into the deeper points, is like, when you see yourself, if you're not acting that out, the concept of self-love, draw it out for yourself. How exactly would you look if you did what you had to do to love on yourself? Like, what kind of person would you look like? And chase after that. The person you want to be is determined by the actions you take. And that creates your destiny, which will create your legacy. So, like, super critical to do those things.
With that, like, your whole life changes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mentally, spiritually, financially as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking care of your needs first.
Mm-hmm.
And physically, like your body, like you feel good inside and out. Like you actually feel like you are manifesting what you're supposed to be doing. Like, and tasks are so much easier. Even the mundane tasks like cleaning your ears, like.
Now that I do it, it feels pretty good. So I don't know. It's enjoyable. You learn to like these things. It's kind of like working out in the beginning. Or cardio in my case. I like to weightlift, but running sucks. But after a while, it gets really cool. You start to enjoy it. Get high off the endorphins. So that's mentality. You already spoke about the health. We're talking about health now.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's so many ways to take care of yourself health-wise. Whether it's just diet, exercising. You really need both, but some people are just happy with just the way they eat. They eat clean, and they don't really exercise.
That's cool too. Like a lot of people, fitness may not be their thing,
right?
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like for me, I do have like this, not a struggle, but I eat whatever I want. I could look 1,000 times better. I could have that body that I want, but I think also too, like that perfect body we put in our mind, do you think we'll ever achieve that?
Well, you can achieve a form of it, I think. I'm a personal trainer, so I hear people's stuff, their dreams, ambitions, and all that all the time. They want to, what they want to be, how they want to get there. But it's like that image of you, like that image that you set for yourself. It's like, man, how bad do you really want it?
Yeah.
So you can. I'm just gonna tell y'all. I shouldn't be telling you this as a personal trainer, but y'all can achieve the physique you want. Kind of like no matter how you eat. If you have like certain health conditions and stuff, then yeah. But like I eat however I want, man. I have Waffle House for breakfast, bro. I'll eat, bro. I'll go to Waffle House and get a beef and cheese hash brown bowl with chili on top, and I'll get a waffle. And that's like a 2,000 calorie meal right there. And that's like the daily recommended intake for the average person for calories. Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and I'll go around the corner because I'm at office. There's this place called the Edgewood Sandwich Shop. It's like one of those hole-in-the-wall restaurants. Yeah. It's family ran. And boy, let me tell you, that's some good cherry limeade. And I'll get me a double patty burger, some large fries, and an extra large thing of cherry limeade, and I'll drink it. Forget my gallon of water, man. I'm drinking about a pint of cherry limeade. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But I understand that if I continue that way,
right,
and I don't
mix in your vegetables and stuff.
Well, I'll eat my vegetables from time. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been eating them lately, but I compensate with hard work. Exactly. Like I work out, I train really hard.
You're just fueling
Yeah, I put those carbs and fats and all that stuff to work. I don't let it just sit there. That's how you start to gain overweight. So it's very small concepts like that. Understand that there needs to be a management system for your health. So just go for a walk 30 minutes, and then change your diet a little bit. If you don't want to be extreme on either end, I'm extreme with the weightlifting and working out. I'm extreme on that end. I'm not very extreme on the diet end. There are some people that are extreme on the diet end
and not
on the workout end. So it's like, hey, whatever.
I did like a little experiment myself. I actually stopped working out for about 2 weeks because we're in quarantine.
Oh yeah, that's like all of Jacksonville.
Right. I was like, let me see how it is, because my body is already sore from all the like brutal beatings I gave it, and I found out I was a lot more tired. I felt lazier.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's
I was
good
like,
point.
Okay, I see. Like, I took that one little piece out of my like daily goals or
daily
routine, and
it messed up everything.
Everything. It's a snowball effect. Everything just.
That's crazy how that works. I've been eating worse since I stopped working out.
Yeah.
Not working out as much.
I'm back working out now, but like, I feel a lot leaner. It's so weird. My body fluctuates. Like, there was times where I feel like I'm bloated, or times I feel really skinny. I look like a Greek god. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding.
hey, bro. Hey, however you see yourself, we're not gonna judge you for it. Greek gods. I mean, they're pretty. The way I see them sculpted, they're sculpted pretty well. So. That's vital. Oh my gosh. The first two, spiritual and your spirituality, mentality, and then
your health.
Your health. Yeah. You guys have to have that in order. Like, you don't have to be extreme with it. Like, just do it in a way that it's not hurting you, please. Because you don't realize sometimes that the actions you're taking are hurting you. Like, and they're not, and it's hurting you badly. And I say badly because the effects that it has is slow. But in the long term, it's massive, and it's really hard to be irreversible. So if you just let yourself have a negative and sick mindset, like you're just always a pessimist, or you're never viewing things in an ideal way. I'm not saying to be an optimist all the time, but I'm not saying to view things in a way that's gonna hurt you all the time. Don't, like when you doubt others, you're gonna start doubting yourself. That's why it's so important to have that in check. Like the self-love, the self-positivity, the self-encouragement, self-motivation. Self-regulation, like regulate yourself, take care of yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna start doing those things to other people.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, you take care of yourself so you can love on others good.
Right.
Like love on your wife or your fiance, love on her family.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you treat yourself is how inevitably how you're gonna end up treating other people, whether it be now or later. Yep. Yeah. And that actually brings me to the next point, which is purpose. Like why? Like why is what's your purpose in life? How are you gonna figure it out?
So, I guess for me, I wasn't built or anything. I was like 110 pounds, scrawny, got bullied. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. That's why I like the journal thing too. I always was trying to figure out what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do? What is Bret Alonso's path?
Everyone asks themselves that question.
And I would try to jump into so many different things to figure it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are hounding, they will hound you. They will say, hey, time's ticking, bud. Like, figure it out, man. Time's ticking. And it's true. But
especially in school.
Yeah. It's school. Wasted, man. Like, not college, but like high school. There's people that actually know what they're going to go do. Like, some people grow up to want to be a doctor or be a scientist, and that's awesome. Like, I never had that, and it was always experimental for me. And then like jumping in the gym, that really like boosted my mind, and then in my like physical health. And I was like, whoa. And then there's characters for me like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they became that #1 bodybuilder. They pursued their dream, and then they went into acting. And I was like, what? Like, I want that. Like, so I went and tried it out, and I figured out like I'm actually good. Like I don't want to, oh, I'm the best, you know. But,
yeah.
And in college, I found it was so free flowing. It was so cool to be able to play some crazy character, or like. But it's, for me, it's telling art. It's art. Like I've always been drawn to art. Like in high school, I've always excelled in drawing and stuff like that. Like for me, I want to be able to tell stories to either inspire, influence, or change someone's lives. Like you see movies, there's those crazy stories, how it twists and it really makes you think. Like for me, my favorite movie is Limitless right now. And he was a poor writer, and he basically jumped from doing that because he had a little pill. That's the synopsis of the movie, and he becomes some super wealthy. His life changed. He became limitless, literally. Like he could literally do anything, and that's the point I want to drive to other people, that we are limitless to an extent. Like we can do what we want if we put our minds to it. Like, and that's why I've been so drawn to do acting, to play characters, to be able to do that. Like it's fun, and I want my work to be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That way it doesn't feel like work.
And I commend everyone that's every doctor, police officer, first responder pretty much out there, if you're listening. Or if you know someone that is in those positions and they're working hard right now because of COVID, thank y'all. Y'all great. You guys are the heroes of today. Yeah. And you guys are always the heroes. It's just you're shining brighter than you usually do because of the media. But thank you so much for taking care of everyone else. But bro, that's deep stuff. And pretty much the takeaway from what you said. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I wrote on there. It's like, all right, what is your purpose? Act on it. But also, how do you find it? And since we're at home, or most of us are at home because of the quarantine, or if you ever find yourself in a position of isolation, just ask yourself that question. And for those that can't find an answer, I have a suggestion based off of what he said. It's like, just try things out. Yeah, just try things out.
You don't know until you try.
Yep. And find somebody that you admire, because you mentioned that you admired Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, if you have a role model or something that you admire, go ahead and follow through with it, and try out what exactly that image, that admiration fits in your world. And with like our technology and stuff today,
it's all accessible. Like, absolutely, you can learn whatever you want. You know, that's a good point. Like, take the time now to actually learn. Like, set aside an hour a day. What do they say? Like, if you set aside an hour a day for an entire year, and I study pillows, right? I'm going to be an expert on pillows to an extent.
Practically, yeah.
That's a silly example, but yeah.
So Zig Ziglar, he's passed away now. He is a legend, I would say, but he was like a motivational speaker, sales guru back in actually from the 60s all the way through the 90s, I think. Legendary. I highly recommend to listen to his stuff if you're in sales or just you want like mindset shift, personal development in that sense. He's on Spotify, or somebody put his stuff on Spotify. He said that you can have a rolling university, which means that you can learn while you're driving. He says that the average individual drives 12,000 miles a year. And if you were to take all that time that you're in the car and to learn something, like a certain podcast, like a sales thing or like hair doing, stuff like that, whatever it is, it equates to about 2.5 years of college education.
So you explained that beautifully.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
It's crazy. And that's another thing, because the next thing is on there's time management. What is it? Develop good habits, and time management's on there. Mm-hmm. How are you using your time? Because look, if you're driving, you have so much time between, like, even if it's just 15 minutes, bro. You have 15 minutes to work, 15 minutes back from work to come home. That's 30 minutes of something you could have been learning.
Plug in, learn whatever you want.
It's crazy. When he said that to me, I'm like, man,
bro, like,
Man, are you kidding me right now? I wasted so much time. So I used to drive 30 minutes to work and to drive 30 minutes back. So that was an hour of my day just taking up. So I stopped on his podcast, I stopped on his seminars and started listening to his stuff on the way to work, on the way back from work. And it's true, it changes your whole, it's just good. Just take my word for it.
Yeah. I actually stopped not listening to music entirely, but on, my drive to work, I would plug in, listen to either motivational stuff.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
And Dan Pena, like.
Oh, Dan Pena's a beast.
Just different things that I need to get going to really boost my day. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I think it's 6 Steps to Success. I have that written on my board. But hearing that video, like, it makes me want to go lift, obviously, but like, it boosts my entire day. Like, in the car ride that I drove, 20 to 30 minutes to work, like, I think I showed that example with you, and I walk in and the lady's like, oh, let's get this day over with. Like, bro, I'm pumped. Like, my mind is juicing, my mind's flowing. Like, it's full of this positive attitude, and people are, and I think that's why, because they listen. What do you
fill your head with?
Yeah. What are you tuned into?
Yeah. What energy wave are you on? Like, are you taking care of your brain? Are you feeding your mind what it needs to be to have an ideal day? It's like those things feed into that. Like he said, that's so critical. That's so cool. I didn't even think about that. Went right over my head.
It actually like enlightened me. Like, it was Friday. Thank goodness it was Friday. It's so great. But to hear someone say, "Let's get it over with." Your day isn't over just because you start work.
Yeah.
Even when I get out of the office, like, my day is not over.
Yeah.
You're there for 8 hours. You have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I'm gonna go do what I want now. Like, I would love the opportunity to be financially free and have my own time.
You gotta build that.
But obviously, it starts somewhere, and we have to, like, people don't understand. Like, I guess they get stuck on that. They get stuck on the corporate ladder, and they get stuck on the rat race, and and they won't grow from there because they're so stuck in there.
They're comfortable, man.
Like, take yourself out for a minute. Look at it from the
bird's eye perspective.
Yes. Once you do that, you're like, oh wow, like, everybody is. It's weird. It's so weird. Like, it may sound crazy, but I feel like they're programmed. Like, for me,
Some
like,
degree, yeah.
I was walking around, everybody's just glued to their phone. They're not checking stocks, they're not checking their bank accounts.
Bro, that's hilarious. I saw this quote. This meme was like, it was this meme, like, this guy was asking this other guy, bro, I never see you at the parties. Another guy said, I never see you at the bank. Like, it's great. You make a good point. You make an absolutely good point. I didn't mean to cut you off on that.
No, you're good.
Dang. I think we're coming up to 30 minutes here in a minute.
We are.
Break time. We'll grab some Cheez-Its. We'll be back. Okay, don't go nowhere. It's just gonna be a simple cut. For y'all, it's gonna be like 1 second. For us, it's gonna be like 10 minutes maybe. But we'll be right back.
Real quick.
Hope y'all enjoy. We are back from that break. Had to smack on some snacks. We should come up with something like that. Smacking snacks.
Smacking sacks.
Smacking snacks.
Smacking snacks.
Smacking on snacks. Smacking on snacks. Hey, smacking on snacks. I like that. That's cool. Gotta come up with some smacking worthy snacks now. Love business. See, this is why you gotta surround yourself with good people, which is the next topic. Network.
Network.
Actually, real quick. Yeah, we'll go over networks and some good habits. surround yourself with good people, because these things just kind of like start sprouting. Like,
Yeah.
what if we really took that smacking on snacks idea?
And turn it into a song.
No, into a business, bro.
Oh, okay.
Song into a business.
My bad.
Yeah, where you been at? You've been smacking on them snacks too much. See, I like that. Don't none of you take that. I'm actually gonna go forth with this now, sometime in the future.
Smacking on snacks.
Smacking on snacks. That doesn't sound good, but smacking on snacks, I like it. Good people, your network. Like, depending on who you surround yourself. This is a quote that goes like, "You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with."
Yep.
And last I checked, if you really love yourself, you would not be the average of 5
Toxic behavior.
yeah, toxic people, right? So if you take that concept and run with it, you'll find that you'll be around some not only very good 5 people, but 5 people that truly love you. And so like now that outward love comes into play, and it's fulfilled because you have 5 people around you that love you. They want the best for you.
They respect your time.
Yeah, they respect your time, which is super underrated, I guess. People don't take that for granted. People take that for granted. Like those tire kickers, man, the people that just come in, like they're pretty much, all of us have a friend that act like a bill. Like every time you see them, you end up spending 20, 30 bucks because they want to go eat somewhere, they want to do this and that, and
Yep.
yeah, it's like, come on, man, bro, stop asking me where you get all this money from, man. Like, how you always spending money, bro? Like, stop. I mean, you can see those people every so often, but 5 people, like people like Bret, you know, people, you know, high level thinkers. You know, I have 5 categories here. If you just have one person that helps you take care of every single thing, spiritual, mentality stuff, like a good friend from church, health, you know, good guy, like somebody, I don't want to point out myself, but somebody's good with working out, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody like you that has a great mindset, help figure out the purpose, positive talks, help with that mindset, and then developing good habits. So like you have Star, your fiance, you know, your loved one takes a huge part of that. So you know, someone to help you structure your life. So you know, you guys have a beautiful place. That all comes from good habits, like cleaning your house every day.
Yeah,
He just told me that.
I don't know why, but I love to do that. It's like, it's already clean, but it can be cleaner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, because I want people to come in, like for me, like your home represents you in a way.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like you come in someone's home, and let's say it's just dirty and it's stinky. What does how does that reflect your character, man? Like, I would be so much more inclined to think, what do they think about me at this point? Now, if you're like moving and like renovating, that's fine. Like, but specifically, that draws back to the character developing. Like, if you're cleaning your mind, you know, cleansing out the negative, your flowers are gonna grow and sprout. Like,
100%. That's absolutely right. I think that I said the same thing about my car though. You know, like the way you talk about your house, like.
so
You look like a dad. I'm just kidding.
man,
All right, cool. Battery died. We're gonna go back with the show now.
and
Oh gosh.
I guess now, you know, people like you and the few people that I hang out with really does affect who your character is, your beliefs. Like if you hang out with religious people, you will adopt some of those religious beliefs.
Those characteristics.
Yep. And that's good. If you hang out with financial experts and people that are
Make wise decisions.
yep.
You know, you end up making the same thing. Actually, I was listening to this talk this morning. It's cool that you mentioned that because if you guys want a cool YouTube channel to a YouTube channel that puts out like this motivational stuff. Talks like this. It's called Vybo, VYBO, and they're like 10 to 50-minute long videos. Like it ranges. But the one I listened to this morning was about 15 minutes, and the guy said, your self-image is like a thermostat. Whatever temperature it's at, no matter what happens in your life, it will regulate itself back to the temperature that you see yourself at. So if you're at 76 degrees and the windows bust open and it's dead hot outside, bro, that thermostat will do what it takes to bring it back down so the room is 76 degrees. Now it's the opposite is true. If the windows bust open and it's freezing cold outside, then that thermostat's gonna do what it has to do to get back to 76. Now, depending on the people you hang out with, they change your thermostat. So that's how powerful it is. It's like, no, your thermostat doesn't regulate the people around you. The people around you regulate your thermostat. And so like, if you want to be an 80 instead of a 70, well, you better get around some 80-degree people, you know? So they'll level you up and change your thermostat. I like that a lot because it's cool and super easy to think about. You know, it's like, yeah, you want to be hot? Okay, get around some hot people. You want to be cold? Okay, get around some cold people. But that network will really self-image. I mean, that's the thermostat example, which relates to how well you'll love on yourself. Because the way you see yourself, you can sit. There's two ways to seeing yourself. Like I think you'd agree with this. The way you see yourself, and then the way you see yourself in the way, the way you just see yourself as you are. Yeah. Like it could be good or bad. That too. But what you see that you deserve, I guess. Okay. So you only see yourself in a manner that is deserving of certain things. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like.
I think it does. So like
your room or
the apartment.
Yeah, the apartment.
I wanted a 1-bedroom because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But I was like, I deserve a bigger space. You know, my fiance deserves a bigger space. Like, why would I limit myself to a 1-bedroom when I can get a 2 and bigger space? I mean, that's a small like concept, but it can really like pinpoint everything else.
I agree. Now you got a bigger apartment and you're happy about it.
Yeah. Your self-worth is big. Like you know. Don't limit what you deserve. I mean, that's such a weird.
Don't limit yourself to only what you think you deserve. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it's like high level stuff, I would say. Because you can think you deserve bad things. Like, I've had talks with people that got out of bad relationships and stuff, or made a mistake, and they're like, man, I don't even deserve to be doing this right now. Because I did this. And I don't deserve that. That's like the opposite of limiting. That's the opposite of like thriving. That's like breaking down. That's being ungrateful.
Take the weeds out of your mind. So that way the flowers can grow.
Jim Rohn?
Is that Jim Rohn?
Yeah, Jim Rohn.
See, I've seen that so much, and I've resonated about it. Like, all the negative thoughts are your weeds. Cut them out. That way,
the flowers and the plants that you planted, you work so hard to plant and grow, can actually grow.
And there will be people that will try to steal that. They will try to throw dirt, cover you up.
Bro, they're trying to bury you alive, man. People are evil out there. There's some people out there that, man, they'll act like your friend for a long time. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. Y'all got friends that they say they swear on their grave that they love you and they'll never do anything to hurt you. They'll always be there for you. But as soon as they see something that, I mean, man, some people will see it like, oh, you did me wrong, and they just disappear. And in reality, it's just an excuse for them to leave. People are like that. That's why it's so important to manage that network. You manage your network, you keep it close, you regulate it, you analyze it. Like, never be so naive to be like, oh, he's a good guy. Oh, okay, I ain't got to worry about him no more. No, man. No, because people's colors, man, they get revealed. And so if the colors you're seeing right now aren't the true colors, they're going to come out soon.
They will. And when it's kind of like people that hang out with people at work. You don't know the person. You think you know them, and then you hang out with them outside of work, and you're like, whoa.
Oh, I know exactly. Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, whoa.
I can relate. What happened here, bro? This ain't the way you seem like.
Like,
what in the world?
So, strange enough, I don't know why, but everybody in my training thing at work, I'm not allowed to say what I do at work, signed an NDA, but a lot of people were saying that they had like this weird, what's that called when you look at somebody, you're like, oh, he's such and such.
An assumption thing?
Yeah. So I would come in, they thought I was some spoiled rich kid. I was like, what? How does that make sense? I guess because of the way I carried myself. I always carried myself like higher than, I guess I actually am.
Yeah, a high standard.
Yeah, high standard. And I feel like we all should be doing that.
Without a doubt,
like,
man.
Whether it's your health, whether it's your, religious beliefs and spirituality, like, we're all limitless. We can.
Mm-hmm. You can be as good as you want to be. It's just, one, how bad do you want it? And two, do you believe you can have it? It's all about self-belief too. Self-love, self-belief. Carry on with it, man.
But most importantly, like, really get rid of those negative weeds in your life. Like, and you don't even have to be rude about it. You could just say, hey, our paths have changed and I gotta go this way. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
And I forgot who says it, but they're like, they say, don't focus on getting revenge. Don't focus on getting even. Don't focus on like, oh, he did me that, so I'm gonna do that back to him. No.
Oh, that's
focus on building yourself, and then they're gonna look at you when you're 10 years from now successful.
Yeah, the best revenge is success.
Yes.
Yes,
thank you.
Yeah. The best revenge you can have is success. Leave quietly and just go succeed, and then look back and be like, what's up, bro? And they'll be like, oh my gosh. And you know what's crazy? Those same people that try to hurt you, beat you down, in these times, and like show disbelief, like, you'll never be successful. Like, those kind of people, they'll tell people around them, be like, hey, I knew that guy.
Oh yeah.
Or your exes would be like, man, I dated him back in high school. Man, he was so cool, man. And they really weren't treating you that way. Like, they start trying to feed off of your success.
Yeah. That's kind of like a fear of mine. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna blow up in acting. I don't know, but that was my fear. Like, that's why I always kept my circle small. Like, I didn't hang out with people. I was always like reserved, and I wanted my circle to be with like-minded people and people that build me up. That way, I don't have like those weeds coming in my garden,
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, hey, you remember me? Do you remember me, bro? Like, it happened so much because there were some people that actually like did that. They reached out, like, hey, bro, do you remember me from blah blah? I'm like, nah, like I don't, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I came across that the other day. I didn't know how to handle that. I guess you have a little bit more experience than I do.
Yeah. And I do remember them, and that's the thing. Like let's say a high school bully or something. Like, and it was weird. I was working at the theater, and I seen this person. They weren't like a bully, but they weren't really nice to me in school.
Right.
And they're like, hey, bro, what's going on, man? And I was like, nah, dude. Like, we don't need that,
Yeah. Don't try to act all cool and stuff with me now.
Right. That's like my biggest fear is people trying to weed themselves in because they see you're doing great and they
Yeah.
want to hop on your back to not steal what you have, but
To be a part of it, be a parasite, man. That's
a lot of people are, and I want to touch on this too. Like a lot of people will be victims, like self-victimization. Like I'm not talking about like real life stuff. I'm talking about like let's say I didn't get my homework done, right? That's something super simple. I didn't do this painting in the background, and I make up excuses. Therefore, I became a victim. I want pity. I want somebody to come up.
You want sympathy,
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that because they literally will keep telling their story over and over because they love the attention. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. It's
I used to try to help people like that.
I'm not talking about like real life victimization, because that's real. I took criminology and I know a little bit about that stuff.
Yeah.
But like simple things like eating good. Like I know so many people that are like, hey, you know, they want that pity system.
Like,
because
I never have time to eat, you know,
weird.
Eat good, man. You know, McDonald's is right around the corner from my work. I only have 30 minutes to eat. This and that. Man, cook and pack your lunch when you get out of work.
Yeah, that's a story you told yourself. So now that you believe it, what is it? You speak it becomes truth.
Yeah.
You speak into existence.
You speak things into existence.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like you want to be your little pity party, you know, just be a victim of your own story, a story that you fabricated. Then
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Fabricating your own story so people can see it the way you want it to see. You don't get so much criticism. Why do you feel criticism? Why fear it? I mean, it's just a statement and probably somebody's point of view. There's 7 billion people in the world. I'm sure you can find another friend. You know,
Absolutely.
It's like, I mean, I hate to be so like make it seem so simple. And like,
it is simple though.
Cold-hearted, but yeah, it is. I mean, it's like if you can think things that way, you can handle your problems a little bit better. Which, speaking of which, problems. A lot of our problems are developed from bad habits. So the next thing is developing good habits. Mm-hmm. This is the last thing. Man, good habits. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier before, if you develop a good system of habits, you systemize parts of your life that you no longer have to take care of. So what are some good habits that you don't think many people have that you probably have?
A lot of people don't pay themselves first.
Yeah, that's good. You know, that's crazy. That's real good. A book, to go deeper into that, what he just said, it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. In that book, it's like a little storytelling book that teaches you a financial lesson. Ancient book, classical book, just legendary. Jim Rohn talks about it a lot.
It's free on YouTube to watch.
Yeah, the audiobook?
The audiobook, yep.
Yeah, that's exactly where I listened to it. I listened to it on YouTube. But it says to pay yourself first. Mm-hmm. So, financial habits, like not enough people pay themselves first. What does that mean?
So, most people when they get a paycheck, and I hear it so much, they're like, "Oh, I just got paid." You know, usually you get paid on Friday. I get paid on Thursday, but
oh, you're a little bit better, bro. You're paid on a Thursday.
No, but they're like, "Oh, it's the weekend, I'm gonna go out," and they usually spend all their money. Mm-hmm. Now, I did that for a little bit. Like occasionally, I would go out on the weekend and do that. But then I realized, hey, I need to pay myself first. Like before I take care of anything. A lot of people will just get their paycheck, they'll spend it on going out, they'll spend it on bills, and then they're left with like nothing.
Yep.
You know, and then they wonder where is it all going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was me. Mm-hmm. So every check, what I decided to do was, I'll take a little bit of money out, I'll throw it into stocks, whether it's penny stocks, whatever, I'll put it in there. That way I can see my money grow. Mm-hmm. The next thing I do is take another portion of my money, throw it in my savings. Mm-hmm. Because you never know what's going to happen. You may need a tire. Like, I think this is an actual like statistic, but I think I forgot what the numbers are, but a majority of people don't have a minimum of $1,000 in their savings.
That's true. Yeah, I think it was like 45% of Americans. No, not even 45% of Americans. I think it was the reverse. 65% of Americans don't, or yeah, 55% of Americans don't have $1,000 in savings. I think it's something like, I think when you're talking about, I've heard it and read it somewhere. It's crazy how unprepared people can be financially.
So stocks, I save, and then I pay my bills, and then I'm left with a little bit of money, whether it's $500 or whatever. I can either save it, or I can get my wants, you know, gym memberships, food, like things like that. A lot, and it really,
especially that food one. That's where a lot of my money goes. Let me tell you. Y'all heard how I ate earlier, so I eat a lot.
And it's like what there was like a little segment like this morning. I was listening to Jim Rohn, and he was saying how magnificent is it to go treat yourself to a movie, go to a movie theater, because the movie cost $1 million to make or whatever, and it only costs $10 to go see it.
Yeah,
that's it.
When you think about it like that, it's pretty insane.
It's like I really just start thinking differently, like challenge yourself. Like, I understand if people have those weird debts that they didn't create themselves, but you know, realistically, challenge yourself, pay yourself first, whether it's, you know, investing, whether it's starting your business, whether it's
learning a new skill,
like invest in yourself, like work on yourself more than you do on your own and in the office or your job. Like,
Yep. I agree with that. 100%.
I've seen that post and I'm like, that is so true. There was so many people the other day, they were in the chat complaining, like it was bad. It was so bad.
Really?
They were complaining about their self-worth and everything. And I just wrote there, I was like, work on yourself more than you do your job. Now, that can mean whatever it means to whoever, but for me, that really resonates with the whole disciplines, character building, the people you surround yourself with, your financial
your financial system, or
whatever system
habits
you have placed, your budgets. Like,
some people don't even have systems. They just go, oh, I got my check, okay.
Yeah, that's
willy-nilly. There's no process like how you have. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Create a system for your finances. You know, and I was gonna say something about finances too, but dang, I forgot. You pretty much said it. You know, invest in things. Oh, the pay yourself first thing. I was gonna explain that a little bit. What is when I first heard that and I read Richest Man in Babylon, I was like, that makes no sense to me. The philosophy in the Richest Man in Babylon is to pay yourself 10% of whatever you earn. So I was like, I guess paying yourself just means saving your money, and no, it does not. All right, so think about it this way: when you get your check, your employer is paying you. Okay, it's not just your employer's just not paying you. Your employer is paying you for the work you did. Now imagine that you yourself are your employer, and you're paying yourself as an employee. All right, what are you doing in exchange for the money you're keeping? Right? When you start to think of your money that you earn and paying yourself it again for an exchange of something of value, you start to take care of and appreciate your money a little bit more. Because not only did you just do something yourself before you can use the money, now you're just like, okay, I gotta appreciate this. Now you're gonna have better habits, and you start doing things like, you know, not going out as much, and you find that you're a little bit happier because you just got better. Getting 1% better every day is the rule of thumb. Just find one way or two ways or whatever, 1% of whatever you're doing
to
improve in it. Yeah, and it's so cool because you get to see that progress, especially if you journal. Yeah. It's like, I'm better. I'm a different person I am today than I was yesterday, and that's a statement not many can make.
We grow each day.
Yeah, and
we should be growing each day.
Exactly.
You can't say that for everybody.
And some people are okay with being, you know, they've reached a place of comfort, and you know, they're not really they don't really need too much in life. You know, they're content.
Yeah.
But there's always a way to get better, and it's like, all right, can I get better at giving instead of taking? Can I get better at developing instead of just destroying? You know, being a consumer, can I be a producer? How can I produce things? And you know, it's like if you're content, you can pay your bills and stuff. Find a way to bless other people that don't have that comfortability. It's a way to get better. And speaking of which, I'm actually working on this, getting better at time management. So, speaking about giving your money value by paying yourself, is like give your time value in your day, because that's one form of currency you're not gonna get back. Time is, that's what I mean. People think they get paid for the time they work. You get paid for the value you bring to the time, but time is still in the equation, right? The amount of time that you're working, you're still paid off based off the value, but the time is the controlling factor, not the determining factor. So it's like, okay, you have 24 hours in a day. Let's say you sleep 8 hours, 6 hours. You know, that's what Arnold said, right?
Yeah.
Sleep 6 hours, but I need 8. We'll just sleep faster. I love that. But let's just put a worst case scenario: 8 hours a day. You go work for 8 hours. Now, what does that add up to in time?
That's 16 hours gone from your day. Now you have what?
8 hours. You have 8 hours left. What are you doing, man? You got 8 hours left in your day.
Yeah. Let's say you take an hour or 30 minutes, an hour to drive home.
And so you have 7 hours left.
And then you're cooking dinner.
So you have 6 hours left.
Yeah.
And you eat, cooking dinner and eating dinner. 6 hours left. Okay, what are you doing with your 6 hours? Bro, let me tell you. You can get a lot done in 6 hours. If you're trying to learn a skill, and let's say you're going to school, 2 hours, take two hours after that. You have 4 hours left. Okay. I want to hang out with my boyfriend. Let's say you hang out for an hour. You have 3 hours left. You can work on something. 3 hours you can hustle and get better. Like, you got some time to work on yourself. Just, you're not willing to use your time. And look, let me tell you, by the time that you want to get better, it's going to be too late. You know, you're going to be old. You got so many responsibilities. Probably got kids. Like my dad right now, he wants to start a business.
Okay.
And it's cool. He's bringing me in as a partner to help him with his businesses. Although I already got so much on my hands already, I said yes. And he was like, Darian, I've always wanted to open a business. I was like, Dad, why did you go in the Navy? Why don't you just start working on your business now? That's the decision I made.
Yeah.
This kind of decision I made. I was like, I'm not going to go to college. I'm not going to go into the military because I want to work on the businesses I want to build, my skill sets, etc. I've made so much progress in this year alone than the past the 4 years I was in high school because of just taking advantage of your time. And then, what was the last thing? What did I put on there? I can't even read my own handwriting, guys. Oh my gosh, let me see. I put,
You got.
setting up a routine. Oh, that's part of time management.
Yep.
You know what? If you, let's say you want more than 3 hours to work on your craft, set up a routine. Okay, that's like the systemized. Well, it's like a big habit, pretty much.
Schedule.
Yeah, the schedule, exactly.
A lot of people use those. Like, I think you can have it in your phone as well.
A calendar or scheduler.
I think something like that. Yeah.
Man, most of the calendar apps y'all got on your phones have the time breakdown. You just gotta change it. Like, schedule your day in your phone, man.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of routine do you have? What's your morning routine? That's the most important routine of the day. What's your morning routine?
So for me, I get up, I stretch, cat stretch every day, and I was realizing my body's all stiff, so I stretch now. It depends. It really depends. Like today I got up at 4 a.m. and usually I'll get up, stretch, hit the shower, brush my teeth, make my coffee, sit down, get ready for work. But this morning I got up at 4 or 3 something to work at 4.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I was so sleepy, but I got up, did my stretch, and I skipped the shower, went to my coffee, sat down, and started working. Well, in between all that, I tell my Alexa app, Alexa app to play like Jim Rohn or a different playlist that will boost my mental thinking while I'm working.
You work off your TV?
Yes.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. You keep pointing at it. I'm like, you work off your TV?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Mouse, keyboard, all that. But yeah, I guess so. Like a typical day: get up, stretch, have my coffee, take my shower. You know, I'll hit the gym. Now we're in quarantine, so I have to work out here. So whether it's 30 minutes to an hour, whatever, I'll do that. And then I won't eat until like noon. Yeah.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Once I put that, everything started like.
Bro, you hit
rotating.
every single thing on that checklist for self-love in your morning.
Yeah.
Start your morning that way, guys. If you do if you just do these things, like, sorry for the tangents and the rants, but this is what's gonna like help you change your life, and you can start at home. You're starting here, like you're working from home now, and you're doing all these things. You'd feel great. Don't take your time for granted. Don't take your opportunities for granted. Don't take your blessings for granted. Now that you don't have so many distractions, take this time to solidify your purpose, your mindset, you know, your schedule, your routine, and analyze and assess your network. Like, when this all rolls over, do you really want to go back to hanging out with those people that you hung out with? You know, you have this opportunity of, I see it as a blessing. I really do.
It is. This whole, I mean, rest in peace to those people that passed away from it.
Of course, for some families, it's not a blessing. It's just terrible.
But for some people like us, like me, I'm focusing on really developing to another level. So that way, when I come out, I want people to see me how I see myself, you know? They're gonna say, like for me, it's about being leveling up and developing that king mindset and being a king in my own life. This is my domain, this is my castle, so I need to be a king of it, right?
Exactly.
So
I'm in complete agreement with that. So take that, run with it. I promise you, it's gonna be a little harder in the beginning because you have the bad habits from before. Oh boy, they can hold you down. But if you can do that, then you'll be straight. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love y'all. Wednesday, 10 a.m.
Damn.
We'll see y'all then. Take care now.
Have a blessed week.